Hello artists, today we're going to learn about printmaking. So when you are printmaking, you're going to have some materials here. You're going to have your sketch that you're going to make on paper that's cut to the same size as your printing plate. Now these are styrofoam plates and they're pretty easy to use. So let's get started with the first steps here. Our first steps is going to be to go ahead and draw what we would like to print. So this is the image I'd like to print. It's of a person, right, watching birds outside. And now what I'm going to do with that is I've actually created another one, and I'm just going to Sharpie over. I'm going to Sharpie over what I see with a fine Sharpie, okay? From there, printing is a mirrored image of what I see. So in order to get the final print, here's one of the final prints, right? In order to get this to look like this, what I actually need to do is flip it over and Sharpie the back. So by Sharpieing the front, if I take a look here, if I have my image here, and I'm just going to, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. You might not be able to see it very well with the pencil. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to Sharpie over, and I'm just going to do this side for you. Is I'm going to Sharpie over my lines here. Right, here's my little bush. Here's part of the windowsill. And then I'm going to Sharpie over the bird bath here that's sitting in the yard. Sharpie all over my lines here. And my bird. I want to make sure that I get every line that I want to include in my print. So if I want these texture lines in my print, I should probably Sharpie over them. All right. So when I go to flip it over, you might be able to see it, but when I go to flip it over, then I can kind of see my Sharpie lines through the back of my paper. If I'm having trouble seeing my Sharpie lines, I need to find like a light. I need to go over to Miss Dusek's light table so that I can put it on there and kind of trace the back. But I can see my lines pretty well in the light. And I would just Sharpie over the back here. And I would Sharpie my lines exactly so that I end up with the mirrored image. So this is the first image I drew with my pencil, and then this is the back. So if I were to Sharpie the rest of this, this is what I would have. This is what I'm going to add on to my printing plate here. I need my printing plate to be backwards so that when I press it to my paper, it prints the way I want it to. So join me again for another video on how to get the image onto your plate.